Hi everybody, ICT soft tools in word processor. Now going on that chapter, move on that first introduction is important. Now how to start on that Microsoft Office Word 2007 called means it's your ICT soft tools word processor. First things, when you start any program, click start button, choose option all program. Having lot of program now listed, that choose on that Microsoft Office and find out that Microsoft Office Word 2007. When you that found, single click on open for your Microsoft Office Word document file called it's your word processor application software having some lot of tools, ribbons, tabs and commands, but all of you know about that which command now which tab are following that doing the work. So first introduction, now here office button important, new, open, save as, print, close. There are a lot of options now available on that nearby office button. In that right hand side on that save, undo, redo called for your quick access toolbar, and same point move on the middle here document 3 hyphen Microsoft Office Word, it's your title bar, and that move on that point in right hand side, top right hand side called minimize, maximize and close button. But each Microsoft Office Word having that different type of that tab. In Microsoft Office Word having 7 tab: home, insert, page layout, reference, mailing, review and views. Having same in right hand side in top one small button called your help, and move on to that next important point in Microsoft Office Word having that each one that clipboard, font, paragraph, style, editing is called for your ribbon, and this each ribbon having on that a small tick pointer called it's your dialog box launcher. Now you are using on that launcher, so important features are that introduced to yourself. Now each Microsoft Office word processor having that two types of ruler. That type of ruler is now vertical and this is now done horizontal, and same type of that vertical rulers opposite side of that called it's your scroll bar. When you scroll bar start here point and end here point means vertical page, when you scroll on that called scroll bar, and that top side of that here one important in your split window bar. And next important, when you downside also come in 100% zoom out and zoom in called zoom slider, and view toolbars having lot of view. Now you are using on that Microsoft Office Word document called your view toolbar, and important on that left handed side on page 1 of 1 word 0 and English United States is called for your status bar. In that bar introduce to yourself when you type any word, any alphabet, now change continuous, now word 1 you are typing on that page 1, it's for that status bar. And next important point, that pointer of blinking called your mouse pointer, and that is called for your document window, is an important part for your Microsoft Office Word. Now main features of Word 2007 having that tabs, groups and command. Tabs, the ribbon has 7 basic tabs. Now home, insert, page layout, reference, mailing, review and view called your tab. Then groups, each tab have several groups that showing related item together called clipboard, having that paste, cut, copy, format painter. Then font is font face, font size and font color, background color also called it's your group. Command, a command button is a menu or a box where we can enter information. Here that command. And next move on that different option in Word, open an existing document. That option when you use on that, now follow that two types. First click on that office button, select open, having that one window are coming, that message box is your open an existing document. And second things for all of you now using on that control O, it's your shortcut key for that different option in Word. Open an existing document, two way of you all of you now using. And next important for that, save a file and close Word. Important, when you type your word processor document file, some data are presenting, but your file having that some save, two types of that saving, three types of that saving your document. First, office button, choose that option, save. Second important, press Ctrl S, it's your second. And third one is now quick access toolbar, having that first option in your save is important. When you close your word means 2007 only file closing, that time all of you now using on that control F4, it's your shortcut key. And second way of that closing your file, in that go to office button, choose on that close. Two things are using on that, save a file and close the Word in that Microsoft Office Word. But I having that last time that opening an existing document, now I am using on that Control O, in one box available, that file choose and click on that open. Now next important, and that typing of matter. When you type your any notes having that tutorials, now typing, when you use on that typing matter through that keyboard and some keys having that A to Z alphabet keys now use. Now each key when you press that type same alphabet, now click on that word and sentences. But these typing matters, you are use of that backspace and delete button is the most important role on that backspace and delete button. Here I am erase on that off word, but my mouse pointer are having that last F, but I am erase on that F and O, that called I am using on that backspace. Means backspace, when you use on that backspace, this mouse pointer having left handed side some alphabets and word are erasing, but I am erase on that backspace word all words, now using on that delete button. This delete button are options using on that mouse pointers right hand sided matter when you delete it. So is important when you type your matter, now you are using on that backspace or delete button. Next important point on that Microsoft Office Word, insert symbols in words. Microsoft Office Word 2007 can insert mathematical symbols into equations on the insert tab. Here your insert tab in the symbols group, last one is now symbols group. Click the arrow next to symbol and then click the required symbol on the inserted. Here symbol, if you required on that symbol inserted on, I am inserted on that symbol copyright, so that choose and click that inserted now my copyright symbols. Now I am inserted on that some mathematical equations, so here I am clicking on that equation. Here lot of equations list now available. Now when you require that area of circle, that equations, that choose I am now inserted on that area of circle equal to pi r square h is my equations. Now here I am using on that same technique and method. And next important for that point, that selection of text. To select particular text space, the cursor at the starting point and drag the mouse by holding down the left key till the end of selection. Now when you select your here starting point, left click and drag on that selection whole lines is one type. And second important type here my mouse pointer is last, then I am hold on that shift key and now use on that left arrow key, that type of that selection of text. And next important point for that text formatting. When you type on the text formatting, a lot of data now when you type on that you are arranging on that Microsoft Office give us choice to several types of that alignment. Here that alignment is important. Now I am using now I am and all of you now using on that alignment day-to-day life for that writing purpose. So everybody now when you writing start on that left side to right side, it's called for your left alignment. When you writing starting on that right side and end side of that left, called it's your right alignment. But when you I am starting on that writing and typing on that center of that document, called my center alignment. When I am using on that both alignment are right, left, center is all alignment options now using on that justify alignment. That alignment now available on that your home tab and sub ribbon or ribbon on that for paragraph having that on that text formatting is my left alignment. Now here choose on that align text in left. Here when I am choose on that center, click on that center to move on that center. When I am moving on that right, click on that right. When I am using on that justify, so justify. That options are available, but you are using on that shortcut key left right alignment for control R, left alignment for that control L, center alignment for that control E, and justify alignment for that control J. Now that using on I am using on that right, left, center and justify alignment. Now next move on that point on that change the font size is important on that Microsoft Office Word. A font is a set of character text represent in the single typeface. Now all of you using on that single typeface. Now here I am using on that change the font size, alternative method and that change the font size. So here which font face now I am using on that called, you are found on that, click on that home ribbon and tab, and that font is your ribbon having that top of that Lucidia Bright, it's your font face. But I am changing on that my font face. First select your text. Now change your font face. First choose your selection your text and click on that option. Now available A to Z, a different type of that font. I am changing on that Arial black, so click on that Arial black. Now Arial black also that is called for your change the font face, and that change the font size. When I am changing my font size, current my font size now here is 18 is my font size. When I am changing on that, click here and change my font size on that near about 20, so select 20. If I am changing my font size in 9, 8, so choose on 9 that size, but I am still on that 18, so I am typing on that keyboard 1, 8 and press enter key having that 18, it's my font size. That alternative method change the font size with grow font and shrink font. Here I am using on that grow font and shrink font, means 2 point here 18 is my font size, but 2 point now I am using on that grow font, and then decrease on that size on that 16, 2 point that I am using on that shrink font. Here grow font and shrink font option available on that nearby font size. Here is the first grow font, means it's your font size always be grown up, so 18 to 20. When I am click single time 22. But next option for shrink, I am decrease my font size using on that, when click that 2 points are decreases for 20, again 18, again 16, 2 points are decrease for that using on that shrink font, and when I am growing on that font size using on that grow font. And third important things for that important in shrink and grow font, with using on that control and shift, greater than increase your font size, less than increase you decrease your font size. All of you now using change font type, but here I am using on that font type Arial black is my font type, but I am changing on that font type for monotype cursiva, and now I am select on here that change my font type, change font with ribbon. Now here I am using on that font with ribbon in font that ribbon here called last time I am talking to about that dialog box launcher. Now I am using on here all options are available on that here font monotype cursiva font I am choose, and that next modern number 20. When I am click on that, font style is regular and size is now 18. So here I am using that font I am increasing on that 20 point, and now I am using click OK. Now change on that my font face and with the font size is so important. That alternative method, change the font with the mini toolbar. Here when you select change font, right click on that mini toolbar, right click here mini toolbar called it's your mini toolbar. Now you are change that font face and font size. Then next important point to font you are using that grow font and shrink font, all options are available on that mini toolbar. Now move on that adding subscript and superscript. When you use and when you type on that some mathematicals and scientific formula and mathematical formula using on that superscript and subscript. Now I am using here x square, so type on x and square. Now select 2 and click on that here superscript. When I am click now x square, move on to the next point important. When I am typing on that point O2, O and 2, that time O and 2 are same size, but I am selecting on that 2 and I am using that subscript. That time using on that scientific and arithmetic, adding superscript and subscript. And next important point for that bold, italics and underline. When you type your data is bold, italic and underline. So here bold, italic and underline you are using on that 3 types or 3 ways. When I am using on that first using the launchers. Now that launchers are available on that. When you select on that particular sentence, now using launchers here available on that. Here underline style none, font color, and here font style. When I am already selected on that bold and again select that italic, click OK. Then next I am select on that is important. And next important moving point on that using on that ribbon with ribbon, here B for bold, I for italic, U for underline. And then next third important thing for when I am using on that bold, italic and underline through that shortcut key. When I am bold, so I am click press on that Control and B for that bold, and Control and I for that italic, Control and U for that underline. When I am using Control B, I and U, bold, italic and underline is the important point on that Microsoft Office Word. Format painter, copy character and paragraph formatting for one bit of a text or another. The format painter works only if we already have some text formatted the way we like. We can use the format painter to format either one section or multiple section of that text. Now first I am covering on that to formatting one section of text with format painter. Now that format where I am selected on that particular line having that bold, italic and underline, all options now activated, and then change my font color. Here I am changing my font color in red. Now same format painters are now I am applying on that one one section text. So here when I'm selecting on that, now also available on that clipboard ribbon having that format painter. When I'm clicking on that format painter, now activate, now which line I'm having on that particular format, so I'm using on that. When click on that, move on that now in format painter button, which looks this paint brush having clipboard group on the home tab on the ribbon. Select the text you want to copy the format to the Word format in next text to look just like already formatted text. Now here I'm click left click again, that select is my format painter. But when I am same format in multiple sections with the same format, so that reason, so I am clicking on that format painter double time and twice time, that select or activate or your format painter, and you just select on that multiple format and functions that using on that format painter is important for that. And next, moving on that orientations and paper size. Once your document ready to printing, before actually printing, we need to check whether the pages and laid out correctly or not. For this, whatever we need to locate on page layout tab. And next, moving on that page layout tab. But before, now I am off my format painter. When I am single click page layout, having that page setup is important tab for that Microsoft Office Word in 2007. In here, page setup group contain various sizes. Now here lot of paper size now available: letter small, tabloid, ledger, then legal, statement, A3, A4 size. Here all of you now choose any one. Now I am choosing on that A4 size paper. Here now change my paper size. And next important for that printing paper, that orientations. Now that paper are vertically, now here is my orientation for that portrait. When I am that page in horizontally arranged on that landscape, all orientation related on that, click here, select portrait, now activated. But I am moving or my document now horizontally, now using on that landscape. Now here landscape, when I am using again that portrait, again select on that portrait, is your orientation, your paper. And next important for that, which size on here, that left to right that are blank and right to left that are blank, means here important this point to that point is now you are not typing on your matter, and last for that point, on that point you are not typing your matter, called your margins. Now all margins are setting to here, that normal, top 1, left 1, right 1, bottom 1, that all 4 types of that margin, 1 inch 1 inch. Now you are using on that 0.5 0.5 0.5 inches. Now you are using on that narrow, that options are select. Now you move on that your page, here 1 inches and half inches, now different, all of you just to look at that. And next important option for that print preview and various print options. When you truly ready to print, we have to go back Microsoft Office button. Here now available on that print and printing, having that available on option that print, quick print and print preview. Here 3 types of that options that called for. When we click on that print command, we will get the print dialog box. Here I want that print, that click on that print dialog box are coming. Now here in that box options are opening, and important on that box, when you print your document, now using on that name, printer of that name. When I am choose on that options, having type of that printers, lot of printers now having, each printer now having a different name. Do PDF version 5 is my printer name, fax, and Microsoft Office document image writer, then Microsoft Office XP is document writer, send to OneNote writer, then again scroll that list, send OneNote 2010 is my printer name. And important on that, moving on the next important point for that, your page range. Now page range, having that one of two page, now having all pages I am printing on that, select on that all, but I am printing on that current page. Now here second number page, now I am using on that current. When I am printing on that, select that lines, or I am using on that options for that selections, but having I'm only one pages now printing on that, near about 20 pages, but I want to print on that 19 pages, 19 number pages. So here click pages and type on that 19, and move on to the next for that copies, number of copies. Now 19 number pages having that one copy, so here choose on that one. I having that page number 19 having that 5 copies, so I'm increase on that 5 copies. Now I am using on that options. When you select on that number of copies and click on that OK options, that time now going or moving on that your document now printing, and that the quick print and that print preview, having all options now available. Office button, print and quick print, send document to directly to the default printer without making changes. Now I'm not making changes, that I'm using that print preview. Now but before, when I'm click create a document, Microsoft Office Word document, that which type of document that looking good or bad, that options now always be when I am using print preview. Now having this page for when you print on that your page, that type of that page are displaying. Now using on that print preview options are using. When you close that options, you are using on that close print preview. So click here, now using on that close print preview options.